Come on in, guys. I'm not gonna yell, I'm recording this at 10:30 p.m. Welcome to the second episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Heroes vs. Villains. Before we begin, I wanted to mention a frequent critique or suggestion I got for the first episode. Some amount of people said I should browse the Queen's Instagram accounts for the looks that they could wear on the runway. The problem with this is threefold. 1. Not all queens will have a look that could match the runway theme. 2. The queens, when they prepare for the show, spend massive amounts of money to create new looks so as to show off an almost whole new wardrobe both in their audition tape and on the show, whereas some looks have to be made in the workroom. And 3, the result of the episode would maybe change, and thus not make sense just because a random look from Instagram from one queen answers better a certain runway theme than the person who would have won that episode based on the story I'm telling. I would be highly appreciative if somebody were to draw what they think the winner of the episode would have worn based on the queen's style as a whole and the runway's theme. If that does happen and somebody tags me and sends me and whatever for either episode 1 or this episode today, I will include it in the next video with, of course, your social media handle included. But again, you don't have to do this. So, episode 2. We begin the episode the day after Nina's elimination with the villains team in the workroom. The producers tell the Vixen to ask, "So who do you guys think went home?" And the queen starts chiming in. Tyra first says Tatianna, but Raven goes, "No, she was a little simple on the runway, but she looked polished." Naomi then goes, "Do you think Sharon would be in trouble? Her drag has become kind of formulaic." And Alaska will respond with a, "No, I don't think so." Willam will then say something like, "Well, I'm surprised Roxxxy hasn't said Jinkx as fast as Tyra said Tatiana's name. Why did I make Willam Southern?" And they all laugh. The heroes start walking into the workroom as well, and the villains see that Nina has been eliminated. We get a couple of cuts from one villain to another with dramatic music and none of them looking surprised, with the last words before the opening credits going to Akira, who just goes, "Makes sense." Naomi is very shocked when she finds out that Bob was the other person in the bottom 2 with Nina. The heroes congratulate the villains on winning the first maxi challenge, and Raja, of course, gets a lot of praise. She's sitting on the table with her 3-meter long legs out and jokingly feeling the fantasy of being the winner. This does not sit well with some of her teammates, but we also get a confessional from Bob saying, "As a winner, I never let my winning season 8 get to my head, but I see some of these queens have their challenge wins already have them act some sort of a way, and it's not cute." It's time for the TV message from Ru. "My beautiful children, as drag queens, we draw inspiration from many different sources. Doesn't matter if you're going to welcome us to burlesque, dance a cell block tango with a drunken audience member, or maybe you're just doing it to pay your rent, we are all valid. So, mine heroes, maybe this time you'll be lucky and snatch a win away from those wicked villains." The queens immediately realize that the next challenge will have to do with musicals. Ru comes into the workroom and tells the queens that that's exactly what it is. The teams will get a song with 10 parts each, with the heroes team choosing which part they would have taken out. Think History of the World, but the queens choose their own parts, with the ending where they all come together. The 10 parts in the songs would be parodies of characters, actual characters from musicals, either in film, TV, or Broadway, and they all do a short number inspired by some of the songs. So, here are the 10 parts that I would have there. Elphaba from Wicked, Angel from Rent, Roxxxy Hart from Chicago, Sally from Cabaret, Grisabella from Cats, Rachel Berry from Glee, Dina from Dreamgirls, Annie from Annie, Dr. Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror, and Satin from Moulin Rouge. Since we are assuming that all of these roles are written at the exact same level of being true to the original and being entertaining, we will not be going over who gets what part, because that would just be too messy and borderline ludicrous, but some will be mentioned. Ru furthermore tells the girls that they have to pick the roles themselves and choreograph the performance, and they have 1 day for that. Ru leaves, and the girls get to work. The heroes seem to be working really well together, with Jinkx and DeLa taking the lead in coming up with ideas, and for the most part, the girls are all agreeing with them. Their team is going for a little more of a group effort kind of of a performance where, while one girl is performing, she will have a couple of other girls with her. The villains take a different route. Before they even begin properly, Willam says, "Can I just say that it's stupid that we have to lip sync to some session singers instead of us actually singing these songs?" Tyra in the confessional says that she's glad that they don't have to sing live and perform because that's the only thing that she really bombed when it comes to Drag Race. They don't have a leader and take some more time than the heroes to pick out their roles. Alaska tells them point blank period that she does not want to dance because she'll make the team look bad, so she gets one of the two parts that really focus on singing, or in this case lip syncing, Elphaba. We even get a short clip from her All Stars 2 finale performance look when she painted herself blue so as to show us that going green will not be a problem for Alaska. Willam is really not feeling the fact that she has to lip sync, so much so that she just takes the last part that nobody wants. Grizabella. Willam also does not want to be Grizabella because she does not want to look stupid on TV in cat makeup. And because of that, Alaska trades roles with her, and we cut to the confessionals and Alaska saying something like, "Willam is a brat, so if giving her my role will make the team start working, then I'm willing to make that sacrifice." Before they go to the main stage to rehearse, Ru does a little walk around the workroom. While talking to the heroes, he notices that Jinkx and DeLa have taken the lead, and they explain that it's because they have a lot of experience when it comes to creating shows, and they wanted to prove themselves after being low the week prior. Bob shares the same sentiment, which is why he took on the role of Rachel Berry, a fact that makes RuPaul lose his mind cackling. Bob explains that he did that because he knew the absurdity of a really tall, bulky, black guy playing a tiny white girl would make Ru cackle. When it comes to the villains, Ru asks Roxxxy how her relationship is with Jinkx, and she says that they're on very good terms now. Ru asks Alaska the same thing, adding that he had seen Alaska's reaction to her losing season 5, and Alaska just brushes it off and says that that's just what happens in the heat of the competition. Raja, as the winner, is confident she can lead her team to another victory this week. Ru then tells the girls that the queens have to come out in their favorite RuPaul album or single cover looks. There's a lot to choose from. The rehearsals go, as you'd think, with mostly arguing, not a lot of work being done, but really us seeing the likes of DeLa, Jinkx, Bob, Katya, Tatianna, Roxxxy, Akira, and Vixen doing really well. It's the next day in the workroom and the girls start getting ready. We see some queens preparing their supermodel of the world look, someone prepared a RuPaul is star booty look, Naomi probably paints herself to be RuPaul, reworked Ru, Yara is probably painting herself to be the cover girl's Ru. White face, white wig and all. The mirror talk is centered around Sharon and Alaska's previous relationship, why did not work out, and how they're better off now. Willam jokes that in real life, Sharon was the villain while Alaska the hero, and some queens awkwardly laugh about it. It's time for the performances and the runway. Alongside Ru, Michelle, and unfortunately Todrick, this week the guest judges are Billy Porter and Alex Newell. Again, just like last week, showing the actual performances of the actual runways is not possible at all. But the heroes do really well and nobody seems to be having problems in their team. Even Yara, who earlier in the episode got a confessional saying that she was worried that she might not remember all the words because English is not her first language, does really well as Grizabella, with her makeup skills really coming through. Katya kills it as Roxxxy Hart, whereas Bob gets the most laughs as Rachel. The villains team also does well. There aren't any blunders really, but they chose to have each member of their group perform alone on the stage, with all 9 girls in the back just kind of posing or changing poses and their positions as the next section happens. Phi Phi as Rachel is terrifyingly accurate to the original character, but not as funny as Bob's. Naomi as a tall black Annie is hilarity as well, and Roxxxy's Roxxxy is on par with Katya's, but sexier. The winning team for this week is the Heroes team. Ru praises them on their ability to incorporate every girl but not have the stage be overcrowded, and the general experience as a viewer. He compliments DeLa and Jinkx on the work that they did this week and declares DeLa as the winner. Why DeLa over Jinkx? Because DeLa DeLa took a page out of her All-Stars 3 variety show performance and did reveals on the runway, going from the gold to the green look from Ru's Ho 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 album. Most of the villains went for looking pretty on the runway, so they chose Ru's more glam looks, but Naomi is praised for going for a look that was also a little campy while still being sexy, and for doing well in the challenge. The Vixen is praised as well. Raven, however, gets a little flack for being a little wooden on the stage, whereas Tyra gets almost the exact opposite critique of somewhat being too much as Dina. Willam is heavily criticized for being lifeless during her part as Elphaba and not giving us that power that Elphaba gives during Defying Gravity, the song that is parodied. Willam responds with, "I could have given you that if I sang the song myself," but Ru shuts her down with, "But that wasn't the challenge, Willam." Raja is told that she seemed like she was more mocking her character, which she explains as her trying to be funny, but understands that it did not translate. Akira is praised for her dancing and her runway look, but Michelle tells her that if she sees that giant blonde helmet wig one more time, she will burn it herself. Alaska is praised for picking a character that's not dance heavy, but still is criticized for seemingly never just being able to perform without making it a joke about her being a bad dancer. They're also not that wowed by her runway look. Roxxxy is praised for her performance as Roxxxy, and Alex Newell just gushes about Roxxxy's beauty and elegance. And lastly, Phi Phi is told that she hit the nail on the head this week, but that it was kind of forgettable. Silence. I've made my decision. Bring back my villains. Insert evil laugh here. Welcome back, ladies. When I call your name, please step forward. Naomi Smalls, The Vixen, Akira Davenport, Roxxxy Andrews. You are safe. Next up, Raja, Tyra, and Raven are called as safe, so we count them as low. Willam, your performance as Elphaba will not make you popular. I'm sorry, my dear, but you're up for elimination. Phi Phi O'Hara, your Rachel Berry did not give the judges glee. Alaska, your performance as Grisabella was so easy to be left. I'm sorry, my dear, but you're up for elimination. Phi Phi O'Hara, you may join the other girls. The girls in the back are shocked. Like, what? It's Alaska's first time lip-syncing for her life. How will she do? Alaska and Willam have to lip-sync to Joan Jett's Bad Reputation. Alaska takes a comedic approach to the song, having her tongue out, doing the hand horns, if you will, whereas Willam is trying to make it sexy and playful. Ladies, I've made my decision. Alaska, Shantae, you stay. Willam, you're a fearless queen, and you really do not give a damn about your bad reputation. Now, sashay away. Next time on RuPaul's Drag Race Heroes vs. Villains, you need to create a TV pilot for your team, and you have to write everything yourselves. Are the heroes going to win again? Why does Bianca tell Katya to fuck off? What came first, Detox or Sasha? You're gonna have to wait and see. And that's it. That's the second episode. Honestly, I did not expect this one to be this long, so did you like it? Who do you think the fans are saying was robbed on the social media? Was Ru criticized for saying that every type of a queen is valid, even though he still has not allowed women on the show, trans or otherwise? Sound off in the comments.